Right, it's 15th of February. I came down yesterday with my brother-in-law to get some of these beds ready. I've still got to mess about with the fence and all the other jobs. But I thought I won't film all the beds, but I did them all the same as this, apart from two. I didn't bother putting any cardboard on because I didn't have enough. So what I did, I put, probably 1.5 to 2 inch leaves on, tampered them down, watered them, tampered them down with bucket fork, got some cardboard, covered it. I mean, you could do it the other way around, cardboard and then leaves, but the idea with this is just to keep the leaves down, if you know what I mean, otherwise they'll dry out and blow away. I'm trying to speed the whole process up. And then I got some old compost, which is basically what I've used to grow potatoes in for the last couple of years. So it's been bagged up, and I thought, well, I might as well get rid of it down here. So yeah, it's a case of putting it, it's only just there to hold the cardboard down, so it's nothing dead thick or anything. So, a bit of a nightmare lugging it over, but I can get the beds prepared. We've got a few weeks to sort of sit and let all the bugs go in and do the rest of the work for me. That's the idea anyway. The paths are all trampled and muddy now, but it's one of the things that I need to get on with it. It's just a case of just raking this about. Trying to avoid hooking the cardboard up, of course, because it's that thin. I bet it's not even 1/2 inch on most of these beds on top. It's enough to sow a seed into, but say when I come to plant out, I can just punch a hole through the cardboard. Main thing is trying to keep it wet, which shouldn't be a problem. But saying that, yesterday was sunny, today's sunny, so that's a very rare thing for me, to come down the plot and have some sunshine. She's always pouring it down. But I thought, well, snap out of being miffed off about all the damage and get on with it. Looking at the fence is probably going to cost me around 100 quid to sort of probably redo, to be honest. Not the whole plot, but the main sort of fruit area around the fruit cage. I can use the old stuff to patch up with. So I've not sown anything yet, seed wise. To be honest, I've only just picked some seed potatoes up, and I've ordered some as well, so I'm miles behind. I usually order them like in October, November to get them delivered in time, but I'll get some. I always tend to manage to catch up. Like I say, the main thing is getting, rather than messing about, wasting my time, doing the sort of like the the landscape side of the allotment. I thought, well, main thing is to grow veg, so I need to get the beds ready, and then I've got the rest of the season to mess about with other things. Well, not the rest of the season, I still intend on getting the fence done within the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks, hopefully before I pay the rent, because then I can let them know how much it's cost, and they can try and come to some sort of agreement to give me some discount. And really, they should actually pay for it, to be honest. Because there's a lot of people on it who've got some damage, so I should imagine some of them don't even know yet. They'll probably come down and look at the plots and go, stuff that, give up. Because it's not a nice feeling. All your hard work kind of goes to pot because of someone's negligence. I mean, all their farmers' fences, they're knackered. They need to sort them out. I mean, they've only been up a couple of years. Well, it's quite a waterlogged area, so they're not rotted off the posts on their fences, but just cattle just pushing them over. I'm a bit begrudged, doing the fence in some ways, because you think, well, if I do it this year and it gets knackered again this year, I will be jacking then, I think, because I ain't going through this every year. I am looking for another plot. I have been for a few years, but there's just nothing about round near me. Like I say, this compost is just on here to keep the cardboard down, add a bit of surface weight to push everything down. It shouldn't take long for the old mould, or whatever it's called, mycelium, to start bridging everything together and do its thing. You know, and the worms will be down there as well doing their thing, so, and then the moles will come in and start digging it all up, probably, no milk. But we shall see. Like I say, I've got probably till the second week of April, and I think that's when everything should be about ready to go in. So I've got you know, another couple of days work here to do, just tidying up and digging the spud bed. But there's no rush for that yet. Ideally, if we have a good couple of weeks dry, I might contemplate doing it then, because that is one of the jobs I hate doing, is digging that. Oh, the other thing I've put on these beds underneath is a bit of chicken manure pellet, that's it. It was just for a bit of a nitrogen kick, really. You know, and all the stuff that was in the other beds I didn't decide to take. I took some spring onions and a few bits of cabbage and that, but the rest of it I just put in the wheelbarrow, chopped it with a spade and threw it back on the beds, so it's all gone back in. So each bed is a sort of compost heap. Well, as simple as that. Water it and job done. Right, it's the end of the second day. I've had up plot now, and I've got most of what I wanted to get done really. These have been given a bit of a haircut. I could have taken a bit more off, but I didn't really want to, so I've taken some of the dead wood out. You know, some of them, like that one at the back, was pretty big, but it had quite a lot of dead wood on it. So just see how they get on. I've not put sulphur on and that. I'll do that another day. So I usually put a bit of sulphur around them just to help acidify the ground. I can do that another day. Probably do with a bit more off this. It's a bit like the inner branches rubbing in that, but I'll leave it be for now. This raspberry bed, it's got leaves in it. Just left like a little gully down the middle, you know, for the actual canes to come up. I've got some more coming in the post in next month, I think, anyway. Not done nothing with that bed or the sunflower bed, there as they were. Nothing there yet, and then nothing on this strawberry bed. That can be done at a later date. The asparagus bed, it's all been topped off, and then some leaves put on it, same thing, little gully there on each side, just to allow the crowds to come through, if they come through, depending on what I'm doing with that bed yet. Potato bed is all covered up, so that needs a good dig over at some point, probably in, you know, next month, early next month. So I've got all that done. All the plastic hoops are just laying over there for now. Fence, I brought some posts. They're a bit, you know, rotten, the posts, but I thought they'll do for now. I've kind of just re-propped this fence up over here. Can't see my screen, sun's right in it. So they're a bit rotten at the tops, but I've kind of got some sort of fence again. It's just temporary, you know, temporary until I decide what length I'm going to go to. If I'm going to renew it or just patch it. I might just patch it, to be honest. I might just get some more posts and use some old bits of net that I used to use on my hoops and just try and patch it for now. I don't really particularly want to start ripping the whole fence down and doing it, because I mean there's a hole in the fence there. This whole back thing could do with like another thing on, so I might get some more just netting in it and some posts, just some bits, just do it as cheap and as quick as I can really, because you never know. If I go and do this and they decide to kick us off next year, it's a bit of a waste of time. Biggest hole I've got's over there, can't do anything with that, so I'll have to patch that. All the beds, they're all topped, compost, all ready to go. Say these two here, just compost straight on top of leaves. So I didn't have enough cardboard to do these two. And yeah, not much room to actually get much more in them, to be honest, so they're pretty well topped up. These got leaves, then cardboard. I say there's not much space. If I just scoop that back, you can see that's the cardboard, and then underneath that are leaves. So you can hear it. I say that'll sink. I think we're due some rain this weekend, which will help. But all in all, it's starting to resemble a pretty much prepared plot now. So my beds are really, ready to go. I'm not going to cover them over, for the sake of 5-6 weeks. I might as well just let the rains get to them, and what will be will be. I'll just try and get over as much as I can, and keep an eye on things. So hopefully I don't get anything digging. That's it for this little trip up to the plot anyway. So I need to get home and sow some seeds. Whether that becomes part of this video, I don't know. But if not, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.